What it do, BooBoo? It's your girl Kay. I am here, and we are about to embark on our first journey through Close Up with Kay. So this is my new baby. I am invested in having more conversations, giving my opinion, talking about what a younger, not super young, I'm 26, but a younger person that's transitioning into like that major point in adulthood where you really are an adult for real. Um, and just some of the daily things that I go through as a mom, as an individual, with work, with health, whether that's my mental health, physical health, um, and even other topics that I see that's going on around me. Um, Coming here and having open discussions. I am starting this journey by myself. Um, I hope to be able to invite some friends and family to come sit down and have conversations with me. But today we are going to just start. You have to start. So let's get into it, guys. So today's topic is about releasing and having those moments when you are not only being transparent with yourself. You obviously had to get a point where you're transparent with yourself so that you can be transparent with others. Um, it's not always easy to deal with things alone, to feel like you have to have that willpower to get through it alone. Like, obviously, we're always told that you are responsible for you. You are responsible for your own happiness. You are responsible for your own situation. And all of that is still true, can be true. And it's something else can also be true. So, yes, you have to learn to fight through, get through, work through certain issues that you're facing in your life. But don't discredit or take away from sharing that information with someone close to you, being vulnerable enough to open up about something you're going through, because you never know if you, like I said, that you have that willpower and that capacity to hold all of that. So, um, releasing, I released um, some things I have been battling with, and we'll talk about that. But I released something I have been battling with, and um, I don't know if it's because I started my cycle or I got into this rut where I just wasn't feeling good. Wasn't feeling good about the decision I was making. And I remember, so this happened last night, the night before last. I remember thinking to myself, I gotta stop. And then the next night came and I repeated the same behaviors that I said I needed to stop. And so in that moment, I had to be transparent with myself and say, obviously, I'm not possessing all the willpower that I need to not give in to this vice, this thing that I'm doing on the daily. And so I chose to be vulnerable and share those thoughts with my boyfriend and my mom. And my boyfriend was kind of aware of the situation and what was going on. And he had even expressed concern. And I wrote it off like I wrote I just wrote it off like, you're talking about it's not that deep. I'm fine. And that just goes to show, like, when women are in relationships that they shouldn't be in, or you're in any type of situation you shouldn't be in, and you have a lot of people telling you, hey, I don't think you should be in that. I think you should get away from that. You're not going to get away from that situation until you're ready to get away from that situation. There's nothing anyone can tell you or move you to do until you're ready to do it, in most cases. So my boyfriend and I, we would have these discussions about what I was doing and how it was affecting myself, him, us together. Um, and I wasn't ready to listen at that time. But last night, I got to a point where I was like, let me not fold my arms because I don't want to get closed off. I got to a point where I was like, yeah, this not working. This isn't working. So even though my boyfriend was aware, I chose to also speak to my mom about it. And my mom, in a sense, was oblivious to what was really going on, what I've really been doing. And for her, for me to tell her that I knew I had gotten to a place where I really felt like I lacked all self control when it came to this situation. And so I'll go ahead and talk about the situation so I can get to today. Recently, I've been drinking a lot. I will say that I did not grow up in a household that always had alcohol. My mother was more of a social drinker. She wasn't the person that needed to have her a wine case, or she got a bunch of different wines lined up, or she got a bunch of different bottles lined up. We don't have a bar. If we were having people over for something, like, she has to go out and buy that. She has to go. And I don't even remember how often we actually did go to the liquor store. I saw my mom go to the liquor store for herself. However, I do have other influences and close people to me that I did see. They would have them a daily cocktail. They will have a bar at their home. Um, they do believe every weekend they should go out and have a drink, or on Friday, once the work is done, they go get them something to drink. Like, I've been around that. And I don't want to say that any of those people influence how heavy I drink. I'm just saying that I have seen drinkers. And I've seen drunk people. I have been a drunk person myself. But I grew up in a household where my mom really wasn't big on drinking. So that wasn't really me. Um, I really hated how certain alcohol smelled. And I, re- at one point in my life, my earlier 20s, once I was able to drink, I really could, like, get through the whole weekend without ever having a drink. I didn't have to go pick me up a cocktail. Um, but the older I've gotten, and maybe the pressures and all the expectations, and being a single mom and going through hardships with that, and just working and feeling like I'm stuck in this cycle, in this rut. I'm not where I want to be. And so obviously we do certain things to alter our state of mind and our attitude, and I was doing that way too frequently. And it wasn't just a day weekend drinker. It was like turning into an everyday thing, every single day. And then the drink that I'm drinking is Jack, a brown liquor. Very hard on you. And I'm drinking more than just one double shot. Sometimes it gets to four, sometimes it gets to five. Am I proud of that? No. Do I know exactly what I'm running from? I don't know. I just know that when I drink, I am chasing a feeling. I know the feeling I'm chasing. But as far as the situation, an exact situation that I'm running from, I'm not sure. But getting to a place of feeling woozy and goofy and funny and without a care in the world. I'm a very anxious person anyway. I overthink. Things will be stuck in my mind and bother me for a long time. Like the smallest little thing, I will really sit at home and pressure myself at the end of the day because I forgot to tell someone thank you or greet them, or I hope I didn't make them feel like I was ignoring them, and that happened at 11 a.m. And that person most likely isn't even thinking about me or their situation. But I'm that type of person where I hold on to so much that I do think drinking was a release for me to feel outside of my body and not Kayla. And that's scary. It's scary that I don't have a limit. And I'm not thinking smart. I'm drinking all of this and I got to be at work and clocked in at 6 a.m. in a job where I have to be very active throughout the day. I just can't go sit down and give myself some time. I'm supposed to be hydrating, drinking water so that I can work and do my job. I've been sick, not feeling well. It's probably just because of all the crap I'm putting into my body. And I'm not saying don't drink and have a good time because I'm not sitting here in front of y'all right now saying I'm never going to have a drink again. That's not what this video is. This is a video about being transparent and releasing. Because if I don't get to a point of accepting that I drink too much, when am I going to learn that lesson? When my insides are shutting down and I'm 26, I think I'm this cute little girl or whatever, thick or whatever. I'm aging myself, breaking myself down, and not being myself. And excuse me for itching and scratching, y'all. um, I cried and I released all these feelings that I was feeling about what I had done, what I'm doing, and how I see certain behaviors and attributes about myself. that I really don't like because it reminds me of certain things, and I don't want to be that. And I don't want drinking to drive people away from me at some point. I don't want drinking to be the reason I I'm not here anymore. I don't want drinking to be my cape, my cloak, my mask. I don't want that. And so I released, I cried, talked all about that. And when I woke up this morning, my eyes were still puffy. I'm like a naked mole rat right now. I don't have no lashes on, but my eyes were still puffy. Like you could see underneath how puffy they were, how just, I don't want to say sad because I don't know if that's the feeling I felt, but I still kind of felt heavy. And I think that we think that releasing and talking about things, we're always immediately going to feel relief. And I had to talk to my boyfriend about it because I was like, you know what? How come after I released, I still feel so drained? And he told me, he said, well, releasing is draining. It was like, think about what a drain does. It's drainage. It lets water out, it lets certain things out, whatever. But I forgot the exact way he told the example, but he was like, basically, that's what releasing is. So you still can feel so drained because you just had to pour all this out and you had to give all this out. And although it's true, and although it's because of the situation it is with drinking, I I know that's a negative situation, but I'm not looking at that as what we call draining now. Like we'll say that the way our job treats us is draining. The way this person in a relationship with us treats us is draining. And so when I think about telling something about myself to get it off my chest, to express what I'm going through, I wasn't connecting that with that feeling I should have after I do that. It's draining. I felt like I should feel good, but the thing is, all I've done so far is talk about it. And that's the first step, but now you have to act on it. And now you have to, and now you have involved, gosh, y'all, huh. Now you have involved two other people into this, into your mind and what you're thinking and what you feel like you're going through. And so, yeah, how can I feel relieved when I haven't overcame that yet? So maybe relief is going to come throughout my process of dealing with this, but I definitely didn't expect to wake up this morning feeling drained. And like I have been crying for like the past 2 nights. The first night I got very emotional about my grandmother, but that was also after drinking. And after drinking yesterday and just thinking about everything that I'm doing, I was like, I'm doing too much. So another part of me is like, am I feeling drained because now if I want to go back on my word, I've involved two other people that may not may, they are going to be corrective when they see me going down this same path. And you know how sometimes you say something, but if nobody else, you may say you want to do something, but if nobody else heard that you're saying that you're ready to do this, you get to subconsciously in the back of your mind be like, well, you still can renege and change your mind whenever you want to, because it's not like you said it out loud and now other people are expecting this and watching this and paying attention. And now I'm involving way more people. That's the thought that just went through my head, but that's okay. Things need to be talked about and said, and so I was like, is part of this me feeling drained because I still want to be able to do what I want to do without being looked at crazy? And like I just said, I didn't say I was going to stop drinking, period, cold turkey. You may think that's a problem and that I should work on just cutting it cold turkey, but I'm going to try to do it in this way and a plan that me and my mom sat and talked about, and me and my boyfriend sat and talked about. Because I don't think that I have let drinking take my life to a detrimental point. I'm just aware that if I don't learn some sort of discipline, and I just think I need to learn discipline, period. Like, that's a very, discipline is the word that I need to learn and I need to start acting on. I need to learn some sort of discipline when drinking. I know when I'm getting to that point and I still push it and be like, well, maybe I'll be okay. It's not going to hit me as hard. Fooling myself. I know because this is how I used to drink. I'm a 2 drink girly, 2 drink minimum, 2 drink, 2 shot minimum. If I'm out, if I'm at home, 2 drinks. And hopefully, hopefully I'm not sounding counterproductive, but even if my boyfriend was suggesting, he was like, instead of going and buying double shot after double shot after double shot, or buying things that we use to take them as shots at home, because let's really reserve the shot for the club. That's what I need to. I shouldn't be taking shots at home. And then you buying Jack double shots and not even. Anyway, buying something to make a cocktail where it's balanced. Hey, boo boos, what it do? I'm just here to tell you I'm so sorry about the video cutting off where it did. I had at least 15 to 20 more minutes of content for you. It is much later in the day after I filmed that video, but I just wanted to finish up by saying this whole point of this video was about drainage and, you know, accepting what's real and making it real for ourselves and others. And just because you have gotten to that point that you have decided to express and share whatever you're going through with your loved ones, does not mean at the end of all of that, you're not going to feel like you've just given so much. You've just poured out so much, and you may feel self conscious about everything you just gave. You may feel like you shouldn't have said it all. You may feel like maybe I was misdiagnosing myself of what's really going on. But no, please know that whatever feelings you're going through in your most emotional states, whether for a woman, a cycle, or when you're drinking and you're drunk, or at your highest off of whatever you do for recreation, if you start to feel self conscious about something, maybe you should check into that. And it doesn't mean that there has to be a negative stigma on your life. You talk to people that you can feel vulnerable with, that you love, that love you. And I promise you, you're going to want to make a change. And even if you don't do good every single day, even if you don't hit it every single day, never take for granted the days that you did try, and always take advantage of your support system on those days that you feel like you're not going to hit your mark and your goal. We are all human. We make mistakes. It is very easy to fall back into a habit. I'm sorry if you hear my dog chewing up his food in the background. He decided to eat once I came back in here because that food was sitting there for a while. But I'm very serious about this topic. I know I don't look as emotional as I was earlier. I have been able to get through a little bit more of the day and relax a little bit and just take in everything that's happened. I just got done watching the video and editing the video, and I'm so sad that it cut off and when it did. But the whole point of this video was about draining, the drainage. Let that out. You cannot let anything get clogged up in your house. You have a bunch of stoppages, but you have one main stoppage. If that gets clogged, everything in your house is going to back up. Every toilet, every sink, every tub. You have to get to a point where you're going to attack, focus on, and be aware of something. We all have vices. We all have hardships. We are all humans and in this battle together, baby, and it is hard. And yes, we all want to escape. But when you allow these things to alter your mind, you're letting the enemy in. You're harming yourself. You're harming your family. You're harming your future. I'm 26. I want to make it to be 96 if I can. And that all starts with how I take care of me and my center. And your body is your center. Your mind is your center. Get centered. And today, talking to you, I am not centered. But I know I want to be so bad. And I know I'm talking to somebody that wants to be there too. Focus on your center. We are all in this together, and as humans all across the world, not just in the United States. I'm from the United States. I know all across the world we are dealing with so much. We need love, we need compassion, and we need to try release. If most people learned how to release, I feel like we wouldn't be as in much war that we're in. Wouldn't be as in much conflict that we're in amongst people, amongst races, amongst religions, amongst just social media and people we wouldn't be competing with each other if we all appreciated the human experience and that we were there. We all grew up with our parents saying, you got enough time to get there. Focus. All of that's going to happen anyway. And what do? We treated our parents like they didn't know what they were talking about. And now that we are growing up and we are having children and we are now in that experience, that human experience, we're going to want our children to understand, baby, you got enough time. You got so much else that's more important so that your life don't have to be as hard. We got to break these generational curses. We got to break these bad influences, and we got to help one another. And that's all that I hope to do with doing Up Close with Kay. I know this is a serious episode. Not every episode will be super serious, but every episode will allow you to think, to be free in your mind, to be free in your thoughts, to be free in your feelings. And I don't care if it's about music, television, your deepest, darkest secret, or your best day. all of that is going to be able to be established and felt and appreciated here on this channel. So if you want to be part of this journey, if you feel anything I said, if you just appreciate the transparency and you hope to get there on your journey, follow me. Because I'm just in the beginning stages, baby. I'm not in my best. I'm not at the peak. So we can grow together and we can help each other. I love you, boo boos, and I will see you on the next one. It's been Close Up with Kay. Bye bye, loves.